So say you're watching a movie, say it's a mob movie or a kind of crime action movie, and you've got all the bad guys clustered together and they're all talking, and they're all plotting and planning. And the main boss, his second in command, he's kind of seems like the most capable of them all. In fact, he's kind of talking down to the boss. And we see this guy is incredibly intelligent, incredibly charismatic, and incredibly dangerous. And as the scene goes on, the bad guys disperse. And we follow this guy, we follow this kind of second in command, this kind of right hand man to the boss as he goes home, as he picks up milk, as he gets ready to pick up his daughter for the weekend. What kind of TV show or movie would that be like? Well, my friends, that would be Mr. Inbetween. This is an amazing series that no one has fucking seen and everyone needs to watch. It is the brainchild of an actor and director, Scott Ryan. The character of Ray Shoesmith is the titular anti hero of the series, and Ryan first came to prominence with this character in a kind of docu or mockumentary movie back in 2005 called The Magician. And it's essentially the same character. Ray Shoesmith is a low level kind of thug or lackey for a boss in Sydney, in Australia. And he is incredibly capable and incredibly dangerous, but he's also incredibly down to earth. Now, a lot of people, they could watch the show and make comparisons with the likes of Sopranos with the idea of this relatable kind of criminal. But I think a lot more people could see themselves bumping into Ray than they could Tony Soprano in a supermarket. Scott Ryan's performance as the character is magnificent. Ray isn't an out and out bad guy. He has a code. He has a kind of a set of ethics he follows. He's not a good guy. Certainly not. It'd be hard pressed to call him an anti-hero, but he's the closest you're going to get in this show. And the performance he gives is fantastic. Whereas a lot of the other characters are kind of loud and boisterous, and kind of they're all talk. Ray Shoesmith is very quiet. He's methodical, and he's also very funny. This show is it's kind of a crime drama with elements of black comedy, but as well as his personality making you like him, he has actually some fairly good attributes with the character. He is a devoted and loving father, and he does care for his brother who suffers from motor neurons disease. And even we see with his friends, he's very loyal. He has a friend called Gary, who's a complete and utter fuck up, who he has to bail out of problems from time to time. And again, the cast is fantastic. You have his daughter, who is this adorable little girl who he dotes over, and he kind of acts very kind of overprotective, but at the same time, you could see someone being an overprotective father, but then when you put them into the shoes of Ray, you could see, yeah, this guy would fuck you up if you hurt his child or crossed his child. And again, Scott Ryan's performance, is absolutely fucking magnificent. There is some amazing scenes of action followed by scenes of levity and mundanity, and these balance each other out. Again, it's like, well, what does a henchman or kind of a lackey for a crime boss do on their off time? And again, this is portrayed magnificently in this show. Again, there's only 3 seasons, and there is, I think, 9 episodes, 6 episodes in the first season, I think 12 or 13 in the second, and 9 in the last. And each episode is roughly 25 to 30 minutes long, so you could binge this. It is currently on Stars or Hulu. If you have Disney Plus, you can check it out there. And again, it's a show that is incredibly criminally underrated. I think the character that Scott Ryan crafted is amazing. Again, you have all these other characters in this kind of universe. You have his boss, Freddy, who's all flash and substance. And it's not that Ray is poor. Ray actually he looks after himself, and he's not like some deadbeat dad who's like squandering his money. He actually cares for his daughter. He keeps himself to a very modest lifestyle, where you have his boss, like Freddie, kind of flaunting his money. He kind of keeps things very simple. And the other kind of interesting aspect about the character as well is he has anger issues. But whereas most characters like Tony Soprano goes to a therapist to acknowledge this or acknowledge his kind of mental issues, Ray is forced to go to a kind of an anger management session, and he doesn't believe he should be there. And again, it's a fantastic performance by Scott Ryan, and again, it's really sad that no one has seen or talked about this show because it's magnificent. And again, all the supporting characters are great. So if you haven't checked it out, I implore you, please check out Mr. In Between. It is an awesome show. As I said before, it is on Hulu and it is on Stars for people in Europe. And it's been around a while, so definitely check it out. And yeah, Mr. In Between is a show more people should have been talking about, and you definitely need to watch. So my name is Martin. This has been the Trash Picture Show, and yeah, have a good, take care, bye now.